Good to go.
Great. Devora, I'm putting you as co-host so you can let people in as well. Okay. So, welcome everybody. My name is Sarah Simmons, and I am so excited to see you all here today. Welcome to the Impact Innovator Masterclass. Welcome, Devora. Welcome, Josh. Welcome, Sabranti. Really great to see you all. Welcome to those joining on LinkedIn. Welcome to them joining on YouTube. I invite you right now to sit back and relax and allow me to do the hard thinking for you because I know how hard you work. And I know that you're all founders with a mission. And I'm here, I really want to share this idea with you right at the top. Did you know that right now is the greatest opportunity of all time for founders who have a mission to make our world a better place? It's the greatest opportunity for you to scale of all time. Did you know that, guys? Right? Because I'm going to explain to you why it's the greatest opportunity of all time as we go through. So pay attention, relax, sit back. We are going to talk about 5 virtually unknown billion-dollar buyer secrets that are going to transform you and your business, your organization, whatever you do, whether you're a founder with a product, a founder with a service, a coach who wants to scale, these secrets are going to transform you completely away from having to compete with any competitor. They're going to transform you into a category of one business so you can build sustainable scale to whatever your goal is, whether that is 7 figures, whether that is 8 figures, whether that's beyond 8 figures. Okay, so let's dive in. So this masterclass is for purpose-led founders and coaches. You guys who are innovating products and services that make a positive impact. Put a hands up if that is you, okay? And this is for you if you're in one of 2 situations. You're at 100K, around that level, 200, 300, whatever it is, and you really are lacking that solid system of what is going to enable you to break through to be able to build predictable sales and scale to 7 figures and beyond. This is for you if you're already at 7 figures and you're like, gosh, you know, Sarah, I really knew what made me stand out. I was an innovator and I am an innovator, but now, you know, my competitors have caught up with me. I'm lacking that differentiation, what makes me unique. And I've kind of lost track of how to put systems in place to lead as a category of one and break through to scale to 5 to 10 million and beyond. Okay, now this is also for you if you really have that mission to make a difference and you just feel like you've plateaued, you're overwhelmed, you just don't know exactly what the right roadmap is to get buyers to see you, notice you, and buy you consistently. Okay, so welcome, Jennifer, just joining us. I'm just diving into who is an impact innovator, who is this for? So here at Impact Innovator, we help purpose-driven founders scale. So what is an impact innovator? This is someone who didn't get into their business just for money. This is you if your dream is to build a movement. This is you if you have a mission to make a difference and you quit your job to launch a mission-driven business and build a legacy. That means you're an impact innovator. This is you if you refuse to choose between purpose and profit. And this is you as an impact innovator if you're innovating something. If your dream is to change the world with your product, solution, or service, and your goal is to become a leader of your niche. That is who you are if you're an impact innovator, and that is who members are. So you're in the right place if that is you. If it's not you, you're in the wrong place. And no hard feelings, but you can click off now, okay? Because we only care about people who want to build a legacy. That's who I care about helping, and I know that is many of you here. So I said at the beginning, just a few moments ago, that if you want to build a legacy, if you are an impact innovator, you are sitting at the doorstep of the greatest growth opportunity of all time, because purpose-led businesses are set to exponentially grow in the next 12 to 24 months. Here is why. Because we're in the midst of the greatest wealth transfer, $84 trillion. In the history of the world, wealth is being transformed from the parents to the generations of millennials and Gen Z. And here's the thing, over 73% of this generation care about purpose before price. So whether you've had your business for 3 years or 30 years, each market is choosing its leaders now. Not next year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, now. So pay attention on what I'm sharing today, because it's going to give you a proven step-by-step roadmap to get seen by buyers and bought by your dream buyers and scaling to 7 figures, 8 figures and beyond. So why does this really count now more than ever? Because buyers, as well as those generations, right? Buyers of the corporate world, buyers of services, people all care about purpose. They care about purpose-led solutions. Here's what changed, back in COVID. I've been in purpose since 2007-8. But, we were innovators then. We were pioneers. What's changed since COVID is that we all had a chance to look around us and say, what is the point? What is the meaning of the products and services that we buy? Right? And people started to make different choices. They said, well, you know what? I want to buy from that founder, that business, that organization, or that coach if I really understand them, their purpose, their meaning, their offering, right? That people care about this. This is today, purpose is becoming mainstream. So again, no matter how long you've been in this world of purpose, now is the time to learn and master how to really become a leader in your niche. And I'm going to talk about leaders from the point of view of really becoming a category of one business, how that's the secret to being able to scale sustainably, to be able to scale organically, to be able to get buyers to notice you instantly. So if you're serious about building your legacy, this moment is the moment to make that move. What you're getting today is the 5-step playbook you need to build sustainable scale as the only choice in your niche. Put a hands up if that sounds good. The only choice in your niche. You will not need to compete with anybody, and everyone's going to say, yes, Josh, yes, Alex, yes, Sabranti, yes, Devora, yes, Jennifer, yes, everybody on LinkedIn. I choose you. This is what you're going to get by listening for the next 80 minutes, okay? The 5 systems we'll unlock today are why 99% of entrepreneurs get overlooked. And it's not what you think. We're going to unlock the proven framework that transforms you into the only choice. And you know what, guys? What I care about most, you're going to learn throughout our session today, is your impact and your legacy. So what I'm talking about today isn't frameworks that take years to implement. They're frameworks that take days, right? This framework, the first one I'm sharing today out of 5, will transform you into a category of one business in 30 days. The next thing I'm sharing is the roadmap that no one else teaches you to make those buyers say yes instantly. And no, you can't ChatGPT this or Google it, okay? I'm also going to share live case studies of entrepreneurs transforming from one of many to 6, 7, and 8-figure scale. And I'm going to give you limited access to this complete system. And this isn't another hack. This has been years of development, right? And this is a proven system that's underpinned by billion-dollar buyer intelligence that I learned over a decade, okay? And it's been proven already to work with 50 of the world's top purpose-driven founders. So let's start with the truth of where you are right now. I'm going to read some statements, and I want you to notice how they make you feel in your body, right? And get really real with yourself. So, does this sound familiar? A thought that you might think from time to time. I'm brilliant at what I do, but I'm exhausted. No matter what I try, I feel invisible to buyers much of the time. Right? Put a hell yeah, put a hands up, put a, I connect with this. Write it down. How does this make you feel? I know there's been a lot of times in my life I felt completely invisible to buyers, right? How about this? I'm frustrated. Why do founders with worse offers than me make 10 times more money than me? How many times have you looked around and seen someone who's nowhere near as brilliant as you, yet they're just succeeding and scaling in a way that hasn't been unlocked for you? Sarah, I've hired all sorts of people, agencies, coaches, experts, and spent thousands and thousands and thousands, and I'm still not scaling. Right? How does that make you feel? Again, every statement here, I know it from the inside out, because as well as being a business growth mentor, I am an impact entrepreneur myself. I'm going to share my story with you guys. These aren't just words here, they're experiences that myself and many of our members feel. Sarah, I feel depleted. I quit my job to make a difference. Now I'm working harder than ever, earning less, and can't seem to make that breakthrough to sustainable scale. If that's you, I hear you. And by the end of the 90 minutes, you're going to know exactly what is required to break through to sustainable scale. In my heart, I feel stressed. Sometimes I feel like I'm wasting my life and I'm losing out on the opportunity to build my legacy. And that was me for a long time. Right? Again, I mean this from my heart to yours. Now, it was that struggle that really unlocked for me the solution that I'm sharing with you today. And here's the first part of the solution. The big truth is that whatever you connected with in those statements I shared, here's the thing. It's not because you have lost clarity. It's because, why we feel those feelings is because as founders, we lose clarity on what is our unique power. And what buyers want from you is your unique power. And all of that is what culminates in becoming and being a category of one business. So if you felt any one of those statements, they're symptoms of looking at your business through separate operating systems. And today I'm going to help you identify exactly which parts of your operating system are broken. And when you fix each one of those parts, guess what? You build sustainable scale as the leader in your niche. So I want to start by asking you a question. You're here for a reason. Let's get real. What is not building sustainable growth, scale, costing you? I want you to write it down on a piece of paper. Think about it. If you had a roadmap where you just knew, okay, Sarah, I know what I need to do tomorrow to get to my next level of growth, right? What revenue would that enable you to make in the next 12 months that you haven't been able to make before? That's the first question. Okay? So if you have a roadmap that makes it really, really clear from you, I just need to do A, B, C, D, and I'm going to build sustainable scale. What will that enable you to build in 12 months' time? 300K? 1 million? Extra in sales or reach 1 million? What is it? Write it down in the chat. Write it for yourselves. Because it's really important to be honest with ourselves, right? Because we can carry on for years not making the breakthrough that we want to make. But we can also change our lives really quickly when we have the right roadmap. So think about that. What will having a really clear roadmap enable you to do? What are you losing out on right now? In lost revenue and also lost time and lost impact. I want to know how long you've been in your journey of impact entrepreneurship, right? Is it 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? Write it in the chat here. How long have you had this goal to make a difference? And how hard are you working right now to make that breakthrough? And if I gave you a solution that was going to make it so much more simple for you, what difference would that make for you? So as you think about that and write in the chat whatever you feel, okay, I'm here to answer your questions and connect with you. As you think about that, I want you to really connect with this. Today we live in a buyer's world, right? I know that because I spent over a decade being a buyer for billion-dollar retailers. And I learned something universal about buyer psychology. No matter what you do, your buyers, what you make, what you sell, your buyers really connect with you instantly. Your business has less than 3 seconds to stand out today. And here's the truth. Buyers only want to buy the top 1% of category of one businesses. If you're not that, you are at best replaceable and at worst redundant. That's the truth. But don't worry, I have good news too, right? I have the breakthrough for you if you're feeling that. So let me explain a little bit about myself so you know who you're spending your precious time with today. I'm Sarah Simmons, and I was a billion-dollar buyer, and I was depressed because of this secret that I really don't share that often, right? I worked in the corporate world. I was controlling $100 million buying departments for amazing retailers, the best in the world. My bosses called me the best buyer they'd ever seen. But inside, I felt like a failure, because I was trapped making them millions, but not making an impact, not fulfilling my mission to transform businesses to purpose-led businesses at scale. And as a buyer, I saw innovators with amazing yet complex or generic offerings that got stuck. And I was like, well, I have a secret formula. It's a buyer intelligence system that enables those founders to actually not just get unstuck, but become leaders in what I do. But I'm giving this solution to corporates that just care about profit and not purpose. So I was really at a crossroads, feeling very down in my life. And one night I called my dad crying, because I said to him, you know what, Dad, my life feels like it's passing me by, and my chance to make an impact, because I have this solution. I know what buyers need from any brand or business. I know what makes a brand or business the top 1%. I know how to transform those brands to that. And I don't want to be using my skill for bad. I want to be using it for good. And my dad, who was a pioneer of purpose-led manufacturing, he said, you know what, Sarah, you've got to go out there and you've got to really do this. You've got to first become an entrepreneur yourself and see it from the inside out. You might know how to buy as a top 1%, buyer, but you need to be able to transition that to a founder, and then you need to be able to systemize what you do for other founders. And so I took his challenge on, I quit my job and became an impact innovator. So I decided to build legacy, to raise my standards, to unlock my unique power, to lead as a category of one, and to transform my life. Okay? But here's what, my dad was very clever when he told me to become a founder first, because it was only by becoming a founder that I realized the hard way that innovation is really complicated. And as I said earlier, buyers only buy the top 1% they understand. So what I did as an impact innovator, I simplified complexity. I simplified what buyers want. And I was able to take a complex innovation, creating the world's first sustainable jeans brand, and simplify that so that buyers bought it. Okay, I got into the top stores really quickly, but guess what? I followed the roadmap that all founders follow, which is hiring outside experts, PR people, lead generation people, sales people. And I built what was a fragmented system to scale my business. I spent so much money on those experts and I was still stuck. I'd, got attention, but hadn't got sustainable scale. And I realized that the first part is being able to understand your business from a buyer's point of view. And then the second part is being able to build an in-house system so that you're not reliant on any expert to know what makes you unique. And the other thing I learned about outsourcing to all these different experts was that they lost what made me unique. And that's the same for every single founder out there. So what I did that changed everything, I built the number one growth solution for purpose-led founders to build sustainable scale in-house in a simple system. And that system I'm sharing with you today, every step of it. This system transforms any founder from one of many to a category of one and gives them an in-house system to grow their own business without having to keep spending money on outside experts every month. Now, the first step for any member who joins Impact Innovator, we offer a totally free category of one sustainable growth assessment, where we help founders who see within their business what's missing for them to be able to give buyers clarity on what makes them unique. So we're offering today throughout this program a few limited spots for those calls. Now, I offer 9 a week, but I only take 5 myself personally. So here is a link for that call. My team are going to be offering you select moments throughout this call to book. Here's your first one now. Now, this call is the turning point, the transformation point for you and your business. And as we go through today, I'm going to explain in each step the breakthrough that founders have had during their category of one growth assessment. So you can click on that code. My team will put the link in the chat for you, and we will dive in to your category of one transformation. Now, here is some of our founders whose first step started on that call. We're going to be sharing their stories with you as we go through. We've got Alexandra here who came on the call. She was struggling to raise funding. She raised funding in 90 days by the buyer breakthrough we gave her in that call. We've got Marie and Jason who were really struggling from competitors in their space. They're a food business, and in the call we broke through for them the shift that they needed to make. We've got Simone known a conscious coach who literally like completely saw the breakthrough he needed to pivot his business to be able to build sustainable scale starting in the category of one growth assessment. So I now want to ask you, I asked you what your revenue goal is. So guys, again, if you haven't named your revenue goal that you want to build 12 months from now, I invite you again to put it in the chat, because when you put that and you write it down, it becomes real. So what is that revenue goal? And what is your impact goal? What is your legacy goal? Like, who do you want to impact? Do you want to impact 1,000 people, 10,000 people? What is your goal that you want to achieve in the next 12 months from now? We've had members use this system and literally impact 1 million people. We've had them go from like completely invisible to being seen on YouTube by 1 million people using this system. So again, think big. What do you want to achieve? And what is your number one block right now? I mean, I've mentioned different blocks, but you know you. Is it feeling invisible to buyers? Is it what is the right roadmap, Sarah? Is it competition? Is it lack of an expert guide? Is it all 4 things? What is your block right now? I know, honest truth, for me, for many years, it was having a roadmap. It was, I would reach out to different experts. I would think that that expert was the one that had that solution for me. And then it was the breakthrough that I'm going to share with you today, realizing that all parts of your growth are connected, and that when you put them together in one roadmap, you have the breakthrough. Okay, so let's dive into secret 1, category of 1 foundation. What do I mean? Here's what I don't mean. I don't mean positioning. So if you think category of 1 means, you're here to learn about positioning, you're wrong. You're in the wrong room. Positioning is a strap line. What we're talking about here is your DNA, right? So in this foundation, I'm going to help you unlock, if you're feeling this, invisible or replaceable. Okay, I'm going to help you unlock how to transform into what I really mean by a category of 1 business. So why is this so important, Sarah? Why are you going on about it? Because here's what nobody tells you. We live in crazy times, and here's the thing. They're not going to get more certain. Certainty is dead. We live in an uncertain world, but that isn't a bad thing, okay? Because buyers, no matter whether it's good times or bad times, whether everybody's buying gold because of the uncertainty or, investing in crypto because they feel certain, no matter what goes on in the chaos of our world. Hi, Amy. Hi, Eugenie, just joining. Do feel free to put your cameras on and join us in this amazing conversation. So whatever happens in our crazy world, buyers don't stop spending, okay? But what they do stop is gambling. When our world gets uncertain, category of 1 businesses, they don't lose buyers. They gain them from every other replaceable competitor in the world. That is why being a category of 1 is so key. Here's another reason. Because to buyers, being a category of 1 business is literally everything you do. So as an example, as a buyer myself, right, I would meet brilliant founders, brilliant brands, and they would, maybe have a great offer, but I couldn't tell what made them different to the next brand I'd seen. Maybe there was one thing in their offer I liked, but if that founder didn't know the methodology of how to package up their entire business so that it was that thing, that genius thing inside them that actually I could tell my bosses, look at how this business, how it shows up online. Look at its amazing story. Look at its amazing offer. Look at how it communicates to us. Look at the movement it's got. All of these parts of the business are what make it a category of one. It's really this that made me understand category of one isn't positioning, it's everything you do. And here's another reason why it's so important. Because category of one companies transcend commodity and defy comparison. And this is the thing. I know you are a category of one, right? You all are. The job is pulling out of you the thing inside you that makes you a category of one. Okay? Now, let's look at why this matters to building sustainable revenue growth. Because companies that lead categories, they clearly stand out. They attract more customers. They're loved by the media. And they are the ones that get the highest valuation and the highest buy-in and the highest sellout. Now, another thing why being a category of one matters is whoever has to discount prices or have buyers say, oh, I'll think about it. Or, well, maybe if you give me this special price. The single most important decision Warren Buffett shares in evaluating a business is pricing power. You know you've got power if you can actually increase your prices without losing business to competitors. And as a buyer for over a decade, I can confirm this. The only price increases that I never negotiated on were from category of one businesses and brands I couldn't find elsewhere. So today we live in an overwhelming world where buyers need instant clarity of why to choose you over anyone else. Transforming into a category of one business is the fastest way you can become irreplaceable. So how you transform starts by awareness. Awareness if you are replaceable or irreplaceable, and being really honest and truthful with yourself. You know you're replaceable when you hear this. And put a hands up or a hell yeah if you're with me. You connect with anything I'm sharing here. Who's heard this before? Send me an email. Who's heard this before? Thanks, I'll think about it. Who's heard this before? I found something cheaper, or I just need to go and ask my husband, my partner, my boss. All of that means you're replaceable. And the truth is, 99% of businesses are. As I said, not because they lack unique brilliance, but because they haven't been through a process to pull out their unique brilliance and build it into a category of one. First step, foundation, and then second step is entire business. So why does this happen? Because, I talked about, the founder journey, and I only know this because it's happened to me and all the founders I know. We go on a journey, we're told, yes, go and hire this person for purpose or packaging or sales or marketing. We do all that and hope that someone else can solve and unlock our unique brilliance before we've done it ourselves. And what happens is then we're diluted. We become generic. Or someone tries to simplify our innovation and they can't. And all that does is build buyer confusion. So how does becoming irreplaceable start? It starts by writing this down. Your real power starts with you. That's it, right? Now, you're irreplaceable when someone says this. I've been looking for you. You were exactly what I've been looking for. Yes! Where do I sign? I felt like your offer was made just for me. My friends told me about you. I've been dying to find you. Now, I want you to think about the time when you may have heard that. Yeah, and I'm sure you have from here, from there. Now, the trick to becoming a category of one is formulating what makes someone say that into a formula and a system for your scale. So, how do you begin doing that? Okay, you begin by engineering your business to become that category of one. Here's the formula for you. How you engineer your business to become a category of one, you disrupt your category. You don't say or do everything that everybody else does. You make a decision that you're gonna build a roadmap to become uniquely positioned as the number one. And you focus on how you transform somebody's world. How does that feel? A lot of what I'm sharing about today, right? When you follow the roadmap, you can implement this very quickly. Yeah? And that makes buyers say yes. So here's what most people do. They mistake their category for their category of one. They focus on proving why their positioning is better. They focus on their innovation rather than why they're the only one to solve their customer's problem. So let's look at how you do this right. Would that be helpful? Okay, I'm going to share with you a case study of how you become irreplaceable from one of our members, Marie and Jason, who we made from one of many, right? Saying she makes organic food to being irreplaceable in 30 days. And this systematic approach, this is the first step in our method that we help our members achieve. Right, so when I met Marie on her category of one growth assessment call, she was and is already a great founder. Marie was doing over, I think, 2 million in revenue. And she was like, Sarah, I'm just stuck. No matter what I try, I cannot break through. I have this amazing business. She's selling organic food in this amazing restaurant and delicatessen. She had big dreams to reach to 5 million, 10 million and beyond. She wanted to take her organic food and get it out there as a brand. She wanted to be able to be known as the number one in her entire island of where she was. She was sick of buyers coming in and saying, let me compare my coffee prices, right? Something my team and I were talking about just before this call. And she was exhausted on how to actually figure out how to scale. So what changed for her on the call together in her category of one growth assessment? We started to actually unlock what made Marie irreplaceable. I started to ask Marie questions about her mission, right? You know, as I said, my job is working with founders. You're brilliant. My job is helping you unlock how to simplify your unique brilliance to a category of one. And when I work with Marie, I said to Marie, you know what? Your genius, Marie, is that you don't just make organic food, you make real food. That simple transformation transformed Marie from one of many to literally a category of one. And why does this matter? You know, as I said, when you're selling to anyone, you have that instant connection to make with someone, just 3 seconds, whether you're sending someone a message or an email, or you're meeting them face to face like Marie was doing in her amazing cafe, right? So when you talk to someone, you need to be able to communicate what makes you unique. So when Marie was able to say, oh, yeah, I don't just make organic food, I make real food, She was able to totally transform her ability to make a connection to her dream buyers. And that simple shift enabled Marie's team to be able to know how to explain why her coffee was more expensive than anywhere else. It made Marie understand who her ideal client was. It wasn't just anyone that cared about organic anything, it was people who cared about real food. That awareness enabled Marie to see her ideal client didn't care whether her prices were 30% more expensive. She stopped selling her cheap products. She increased her prices 30% because she had clarity on her category of one foundation. And that led Marie to a 30% profit increase. Now, the framework for you guys is that category of one foundation isn't about becoming better. It's about becoming irreplaceable. And it's what all buyers look for, right? And this isn't about changing you. This is about unlocking your own unique brilliance. So again, I think we've had one spot taken. So that means 4 spots left, guys. If you want a call with me, if you're not bothered who the call is with, you can book anytime. Okay? Now you've completed step 1. Imagine the impact just this step is going to make on your business. Shifting from, generic saying we do this as a category to really saying something that is aligned to your unique power of who you are as a founder, your mission, your vision, your offering. That's what we do in this first step. We pull out of you your unique brilliance and how to give that clarity to buyers. And we pull that out in a really simple way. So that's done. Let's move on to secret 2 and step 2 in the buyer secrets to build sustainable scale. Okay, this is high impact offer framework. How to stop chasing sales and start attracting bigger deals. And as Devora, one of my team, shared, do put your cameras on if you have the chance, because you have an opportunity right here, right now, to interact with me and let me answer your questions. I'm doing a masterclass, but I also invite you to bring your challenges here right now. Put them in this chat. To connect with me, argue with me, put hell yes. Let me help you solve whatever your biggest challenges are right now in this chat. That's why we invite you to put your cameras on, to build connection. So you can ask me a question about anything I've shared right now. You can say, look, Sarah, I'm struggling. Category of one sounds good, but I think I am a category of one, but I don't know why my sales are taking so long to close. Or well, maybe I am, or maybe I'm generic, or I don't know what. Whatever your question is about anything that I'm sharing today, ask me the question and let me solve it for you live. Okay, so next step of building sustainable scale is the idea of a high impact offer, right? Now, this is what I discovered as a buyer. Buyers choose less than 1% of what they're shown. And the truth is, I know you will have started out with a category of one idea. Maybe you were a pioneer of a category of one business, but maybe it got diluted across along the way. Or maybe buyers didn't understand you, so you started to change what you do, or make more, or do more, or make it more complicated or less generic. All of it, right? I've seen all of it, and it all happens because basically we don't understand this very unique formula I'm sharing with you today. So buyers choose a tiny amount of what they're shown, and that tiny amount is your high impact offer. But what happens is, as founders, we don't understand or know how to pull out that high impact offer that people really value about us, right? So what do I mean? So as a buyer, people choose you before they meet you. And if you hide the thing in you because you're not clear on what that thing is that's your high impact offer, right? As a coach, for example, you might be selling 5 different offers. If you're making products, you might, go, oh, well, I had a brilliant offer, but I'm just going to make more. Or I think I need to make another 100. Or is it my products that they value about me or my service, right? All of these are questions. And the thing is that the buyers are choosing your high impact offer before they meet you. Your job as a founder is to really work out what that is. Now, a high impact offer is built on step 1, category of 1 foundation. And this step, the offer itself. 1 leads to 2. So a high impact offer is the one transformation you deliver that changes everything for someone. And a high impact offer has to be so simple that everybody understands it. And a high impact offer is about actually figuring out what in you people value the most, right? So as a buyer, my job working with founders is helping them figure out what their high impact offer is. Now, when you don't figure that out, you waste years of time, literally. When you do figure it out, everything completely shifts. And I'm going to share a case study again of that shift in action. So you can put a thumbs up if this is you, right? And it's for most of us. If you're kind of doing too much, offering too much, over functioning, this is the reaction. You feel that you're trying to convince people to choose you. You feel you're having to justify your solution, your offer. You feel you're having to compete on price. You feel you're having to chase attention, right? Drop a hell yeah if you connect with this or feel it inside you. Again, because everything I say here is from a point of the founders I work with and myself being a founder too. Now, if growth is inconsistent, the question to ask yourself is this: is your business too complicated? Is your business too generic? Or is your business forgettable? Right? So buyers want to buy businesses that are simple to understand, where they understand the problem you solve, they understand the transformation you deliver, and they understand why you're the only choice. Right? Now, how do you do that then? Because when you align those things, when you make yourself so simple to understand your unique value, why you're the only choice, and you declutter your entire business to one really clear, streamlined offer, then the buyer is going to choose you over anyone else every single time. So here's a case study of that in action, right? After leaving the corporate world, I co-founded Shaka Chakra, a sustainable jeans brand. And we had a choice. We could compete with loads of other brands, denim brands, and we could just make loads of products or offer a great service to the buyers, or we could focus on a very unique, high impact offer that was underpinned by buyer psychology. We focused on that. And we got amazing results because we did that really fast. So we focused on one transformation, building the world's most sustainable jeans brand. We focused on one perfect buyer, conscious consumers who refuse to compromise premium style. And we focused on being incomparable, right? Being award-winning for our innovation, but also making that innovation really simple for buyers to understand. The result was when we used that framework for the high impact offer and underpinned it all with buyer intelligence. We were stocked really fast in top retailers. You know, I said people come to me and they say, oh, my sales are down or growth is inconsistent. It's because of the world. It's because of AI. It's because of this. It's because of that. No, when you actually streamline your offer to a high impact offer, buyers understand you will get noticed and you will get bought. We got noticed. My members get noticed and bought, and they build brilliant partnerships really, really quickly. The way to do this is to really pull back your offer, streamline it, systemize it, and productize it. Here's the steps. So the steps is category of one foundation in our step one. The next step is looking at your offer. So if you are a coach or Amy, your Dance for Healing, like you want to really think about your different services that you offer, and you offer personalized telehealth platform. That's amazing for arts and health practitioners. So your way that you will be able to build sustainable scale is to simplify your services and productize them in a really, really simple way so that you can have a team to grow that out for you in a high impact offer, right? And be able to, on repeat, explain that offering really simply to any client or team member that comes. That is the work of the second step of the high impact offer. When you do that, you can then charge premium pricing, and you can spend all your time and energy on building community of really like-minded people who are going to value and appreciate your premium pricing. Let me know if this makes sense. So here's an example. Like one of our members, they have this amazing platform for gifted kiddos where they sell, they have these games, these neuroscience games, and they were just kind of giving them away for free to a community. And they were like, why are we not scaling? And they were having 6,000 users because they hadn't realized the value of their high impact offer, and they hadn't realized how to go and connect their offer to exactly the right ideal client who will buy and pay their premium pricing. So this is where, if you see, everything that I say in this entire process is sequential ordering. When you get step one right, then you get step two right. Then you can increase your prices. You get step three right, and then you can build a community who absolutely love the transformation focus that you deliver. Those founders that I'm sharing on their call with me, that's where they were serving all these different kinds of clients, right? And I was like, well, hang on a minute. Your genius, your category of one is serving this segment. And when you focus on this segment, then you can knock all the other pillars down. And really quickly, they've been able to scale super fast after years and years of trying. Okay, so how did I figure this out? Because, I'm like you, as I said at the beginning, I didn't start as a business growth mentor. I am an impact entrepreneur. And when I only do what I do, because I saw how difficult it is for founders with a mission to scale. So then I built this solution from first-hand experience. So basically, what I learned about high impact offers is when you focus on one transformation, and the key here is one perfect buyer, it means you stop competing and you start leading your category. Now, at first, I come from a fashion background. I thought it only worked for fashion businesses. Then I had Marie and Jason in the food business. Then it worked for them. I had Elizabeth in documentary business. It worked for her. Then I had Simone in conscious coaching. It worked for him. And before you know it, I have 50 founders doing totally different things, and it works for all of them. This is a system that works no matter what you do. So now I want you to really think about, again, imagine if you've simplified your business offering down, right? imagine if you've productized your offer to one high impact offer that delivers you the ability to charge more prices, to make more money, to make higher profit. What would that mean for you to be able to grow and break through, whether it's to get to 300K, 1 million, 5 million, 10 million? What would it mean for you? When another like amazing case study of I love to share is a story of like Eugenie and her partner Lois, who have a sustainable winery business, and they came to me and they were like, well, now we started as pioneers of our space, but now we have all these people copying us, so we're not unique anymore, and we've kind of, every buyer wants us to change our offer, so we changed it so many times we don't know what our high impact offer is. Now, in the call with me, in that first step, the category of one growth assessment, I saw within them, because we look at everybody from the buyer's point of view, we saw within them, well, hang on a minute, it's actually your service that people appreciate, how you give them this beautiful bespoke service. You're able to give people the opportunity to make all these different kinds of wine with you. It's not that necessarily the products that you make. Do you know what shift that made for them, that they unlocked? I caught up with Eugenie. She came on a live with me on LinkedIn a few months ago, and she shared with me how, because of this breakthrough and following this system, these 5 steps I'm sharing with you today, they have been able to increase their revenue $1 million in 12 months, more than that actually, because they're in euros. And not only that, I care about people's dreams for legacy, right? That's the first question I ask you on the call together. What is the legacy you want to build? Because my mission is helping you achieve that. So Eugenie's legacy was that they wanted to be able, to retire and pass their business down to the next generation. And now she's been able to systemize her offering so that her team can scale without her, and her son's coming in to run the business for her, right? And so she's secured the legacy of that business. Now, let's move on to secret 3, the social selling formula. Okay, this is the 3rd step to being able for your business to scale without you and for you to sell 24/7. So the truth is today, as I shared, everything I'm looking at with you is from the buyer's point of view. You might have started off as unique in your space. You may be unique in your space right now for 5 seconds. If you are unique, competition are on the way. If you're not unique, there's so many choices on the way. Because when we define ourselves by a category, as opposed to a category of one, it leaves us open to competition to come our way. But when we build that category of one foundation and get clear on really what our high impact offer is, wow, we're already 2 steps ahead of 99.999% of people out there. Now imagine when you bolt on this 3rd step. The 3rd step that people care about today, right, is they want to be part of a community. Here at Impact Innovator, we're a tribe. We have select members I invite to join my mastermind, which I'll share more about at the end of today. And it's a community where everybody gets to know each other. And Amy, we'll share the recording with you and we'll reach out to you. Yeah, so we'll share that with you tomorrow. Lovely to meet you. So what I learned that, the 3rd transformation that buyers want is they want to be part of your movement. And your secret to sustainable scale is social selling. So what do I mean by that? Here's a hint in the picture on the page of this Instagram page. So my first business, it did the jeans brand I was sharing with you. It did absolutely amazing just using step 1 and step 2. It did amazingly well by building a category of one and amazingly well by building a high impact offer. We got bought by the best stores. We won awards for what we did. And we did incredibly well. Hi, Meetum, welcome. Put your cameras on. How do we scale and become more visible to our target market? Well, pay attention to what I'm saying, because every step, Meetum, is how you become more visible to your target market. So you become more visible by becoming a category of one, by transforming from saying you make artisanal luxury products to building something more unique than that. If you haven't booked your category of one growth assessment, do it, because I go through it there. The next step is, how do you get visibility with your target market? Is we have to look at everything you're offering and figure out what is your high impact offer. Okay. The third step of how you become more visible to your target market is exactly what I'm talking about now. This third step is social selling. Right? So social selling is the opposite of just making some content, which is what founders think they have to do and hate doing. Social selling is something different. Social selling is about you becoming the leader of your movement. Now, what I was sharing was, in my first business, I did really well to build a category of one business and get amazing attention, okay? So already, and distribution and brilliant awareness. But I didn't manage to build sustainable scale. This is a really important point. As I shared, everything I'm sharing today, I learned the hard way. Why did I fail to build sustainable scale? Because I outsourced my marketing and my sales to third-party individuals, right? I would go and do, ads with people or content with other people or social media with other people and brokering with other people. I would work with PR people, whatever it was. I would be paying people here, there, and everywhere. But what it led to was that I had no way to grow my business in-house. And it also led to buyer confusion and my own confusion, because I lost sight of what made me unique and a category of one. And this is the entrepreneurial problem. So when I figured that out, I was like, hang on a minute, there is got to be a different way. And the different way for sustainable scale is that you need to become unmissable to people who would otherwise ignore you. So, Meetan, what does this mean to you, right? I work with business very similar to you. And how did we make them unmissable? So what we did was we first transformed their category of one from saying something generic, like you're saying here, to saying the number one in their field. Then we looked at all the different things that they were offering, and we helped them to simplify that offering to the best products that really connected to their ideal client. And that's where the buyer point of view comes really into this. Now, the next part we did was we showed them how to build social selling as a formula. So social selling is our third secret here. What is social selling all about? It's all about building a movement online. It's all about building a whole marketing and sales engine so that people come to you directly. And it's about building a community and really building relationships with your community online and offline. So how I learned to do this was in my second business, Bespoke Your World. What we did is we built that business on Instagram. And then I realized that this social selling formula works for every kind of business. Now, it's a way that you can build relationships with buyers online, right? You show up as a thought leader, you give them clarity on what your high impact offer is, and then you build connections with them through organic lead generation, through partnerships, and through events. It's all part of our social selling formula we teach founders. The brilliant thing, when I first did it in my second business, it cost less than 50K to implement. And we were able to go from 0 to 300K revenue without spending any money on ads. We were able to not only do that, but attract the best, most loyal buyers, the top 0.1% from around the world to buy from us online, right? Again, just myself and my team following this simple formula. So founders then started asking me, like you're asking me today, Sarah, all right, but how do I attract clients and become unmissable so fast? And guess what? I taught them the formula. And guess what? The formula, the overview of the formula is all here today. And guess what? The next step of that formula is actually booking the call and helping me figure it out with you. So that's what I did as the next step here. I took the social selling formula and I started to give this and the other steps we've talked about today to founders. Now, this is the secrets behind it. You want to make category of one content. You want to create social selling campaigns and events. You want to build an outbound sales system and you want to build an inbound sales system. All of it that's already streamlined to your high impact offer and your category of one. Now, let me give you another brilliant case study. So, you were asking me about e-commerce. When the e-commerce brand I'm talking about that we're selling all sorts of different makers from all over the world applied this process, they went from 80K in revenue to 250K in revenue in less than 12 months. They went from advertising, which was not making them any profit, to delivering a 5-to-1 return on their ad spend. Let's look at the example with another of our members, Carol. So Carol has an amazing brand. She's a Cartier Award winner, Harvard alumni. Brilliant, right? But like so many of us, brilliant brand, still lost in the crowd, hated making content, felt uncool, didn't have a movement or a tribe, and so was invisible to partners. She just needed the solution. She'd been working really hard for many years. What we did, we worked really quickly with each of our members, right? We give you a system. The system is the steps I'm sharing today, and we give you the actual secrets, the formulas, the frameworks. It's all done for you. Now, founders go through that, and we work with each founder and give them the buyer's point of view in one-to-one feedback. And very quickly, we can see the patterns within what you're doing and help you unlock each step of how you transform from one of many to the number one in your niche. That's what we did with Carol. Then we looked at her offering and we go, well, hang on a minute, Carol, let's pull out the bits that are your high impact offer. Then we showed Carol how to do social selling to her tribe. And instead of chasing, she became the number one in her niche. And she was able to attract top partners that sold for her, right? Organically. They were able to do the selling while Carol was sleeping. And everything, the key is another point with the question you raised. How do you actually get that growth? You've got to connect all the steps that I'm talking about today. That's the key. When you do that, you get the sell through. So Carol's transformation really quickly went from one of many to not only number one, but she was also then able to sell her high impact offer via partners through social selling in the secret ways we share. And that led to 200K sellouts that Carol does now on repeat, right? The difference is that Carol went from, just being an e-commerce business, a direct to consumer business, to building a movement, right? So imagine that for you. Imagine that transformation for you. What will it enable you to do? Okay, in your business. Now let's move on to step 4. I really want you to think in step 4, like, what do you think is holding you back from limitless scale? What is it? If you were to write it down, what's the thing holding you back from scaling? You know, what's your limiting belief? What is it? Or is it I'm missing a roadmap, or I don't know how, or I don't want to take that next leap. I don't want to invest. I don't know. What is it? What is it? Write it in the chat. I invite you to engage. As Devora said, this is your opportunity for me to help you break through and unlock what is holding you back. I'm sharing the formula with you, but your real power starts with you. Now let's unlock. I'm going to share my journey with you, and let's see if that makes a connection. So I'm going to share with you this really powerful secret that roadmaps are a huge part, knowing the formula, which I'm sharing with you today. But the next part is unlocking what's holding you back from a mindset point of view. Because without unlocking what's holding you back from a mindset point of view, you'll never build sustainable scale. So I know, that mindset could be, I don't feel worthy to receive the growth I want. That mindset could be, I think other people are better than me. That mindset could be, I don't want to raise funding for my business, or I don't want to invest in my business. Whatever it is, everybody has a different mindset issue, and we all have them. And the key is knowing how important being aware is of what is holding you back. Because the truth no one talks about is you can have the formula that I'm sharing with you today, but unless you take action, unless you support yourself in your growth, you're never going to get the results that you want. And the action we've shared with you today is that opportunity, that next step for category of 1, growth assessment. Pleasure. Take care. See you soon. So here is what I learned. The number one reason founders burn out isn't because the work. The burnout is really emotional. And when you're a founder and you're wanting to build sustainable scale, the breakthrough that you need is really getting the right support. And it was after this moment that I realized the power of that. Because for so long, I wanted to reach the top of mountains and I was never able to reach my goal. And I just kept plateauing and not breaking through. And I realized that what was wrong was my mindset. It was actually not taking the right road with the right mentor and the right expert guide. And I realized that if you want to climb mountains in business and in life, you have to start to make different decisions and make the investment into yourself. The change that made in my life was transformational. I was able, after years of struggling, to start summiting mountains in business and in life. So I want to invite you today, which future for yourself wins? Is it that you want to keep going as you are? Is it that you want to take a new road? So this is your decision for you to make. Now, familiar road means, outsourcing to other people. It means coming here and learning some information and figuring it out yourself. New road means doing something different. New road means allowing yourself to actually take action and be supported with that new roadmap. So That leads me on to secret 5, Impact Innovator OS, the one simple system for sustainable scale. So as an entrepreneur, I invested all this money with all these different experts, and I realized that I was doing all the right things, but growth was inconsistent. And I realized that each piece was fragmented. And I realized that for buyers, what they need is they need to see everything in your business, everything I've shared today, how you're a category of one, how you have a high impact offer. They need to feel your connection to them as their ideal client for you. They want to engage with you socially. And I realized that outsourcing all of that doesn't give my buyers that buy-in feeling. And I saw that the solution is having one system in-house to scale. The way I unlock that is also looking at your business from this point of view. Innovation is complicated and buyers need simplicity to buy, right? So buyers needing simplicity changed everything for me, and it changes everything for the founders who I invite to join Impact Innovator. Because what we do here at Impact Innovator is simplify somebody's entire business and systemize it to a category of one business, following the steps that I've shared with you today in a step-by-step roadmap and process. So what most founders do is they use all these different systems that don't talk to each other. They hire consultants or branding experts or marketing experts, but none of those systems talk to each other. So the result is you're confused as a founder and your buyers are confused too. When your systems are fragmented, or you try and figure them out without having someone unlock your own unique brilliance within you, the result is again confusion, and the result is inconsistent sale than sustainable sale. So what I learned is a different solution and what we offer here. Impact Innovator OS is one integrated solution to replace all the other fragmented systems in your business or experts that you work with. It's one in-house roadmap to scale organically using proven roadmaps. And it's one done for you plug and play formula so that you can scale as a category of one business. The results is this. You know what I was saying in step 4 about, you might have had your dream to grow for years. The result when you put everything together in one system is that you grow in weeks and months, not years. So we've had members who joined our program like 30 days ago, and they are already, as I said, the couple that I mentioned with the amazing neuroscience platform, they're already having these transformations after years of struggle. When you go through a process and work with a mentor to look at your business holistically and give you the solution step by step, category of one, step by step, high impact offer, step by step, social selling formula, putting that in your business, done for you. You just need to focus on growing. That's what we do here. So I'm sharing with you now what our founder members receive. So they receive one in-house system. We do all the thinking for you. We give you the same system that is giving our members category of one scale, and it's giving them amazing return on investment for their program investment that they share. Now, this is the roadmap, what we do. In the first 30 days, we transform you and we build how you're a category of one business so that you can show up online and start attracting new clients, new partnerships, and new scaling opportunities organically. The next step we do is we look at your offer. So whether you make services, whether you're a coach, or whether you make products, we give you a solution on how to simplify and streamline your offer, and we give you buyer intelligence feedback on what part of your offer is going to be the most profitable and scalable for you. So here is Rachel, one of our founders who has a services business that was very complicated. We helped her systemize it to these 4 areas you can see on the page here. Then Rachel was able to train her team on how to sell her offer without her so that she could go and speak on stages while her team was scaling without her. And the result is that Rachel achieved her big goal, which was to get like multiple 6 figures in funding in 90 days that transformed Rachel's ability to be able to now be scaling to 8 figures and beyond. Then if you have products, we look at all your offering and we help you figure out your highest impact offer that I shared with Carol, the example of Carol before. Carol went from making a huge offering to simplifying that back to the most highest impact offer that helped Carol have amazing 6-figure sellouts. If you're a coach, we look at your coaching services and we help you productize those. So we've got Simone here who we've helped productize his coaching so that he's now able to go out there and sell high ticket coaching programs. So pleasure, Jennifer. See you later. We'll catch up with you. The next thing we do is in 90 days, we implement into your business a social selling engine, right? We get you showing up to your ideal clients online as the number one in your niche. And this is enabling our founders to build billion-dollar partnerships, build premium price points, amazing sellouts, and get funding. Whatever your dreams are. The other thing with our system is it's completely custom for everybody. We give you the frameworks, but you work one-to-one with your growth mentor. And that growth mentor gives you billion-dollar buyer feedback in every session. So we build your growth roadmap for you so that you start getting really fast results. This is not a cookie cutter program. So that in-house system for you enables you to have everything in-house for you to grow, right? Which means that you can hire team members from anywhere in the world and they can just run your business for you and you can grow really, really quickly. Now, what our founder members are receiving, they're receiving the complete system. They're receiving one-to-one implementation sessions. They're receiving weekly Q&A in our community with amazing purpose-led founders, and they're receiving their own custom growth roadmap. Now, all of this costs just a fraction of what it costs doing it piece by piece. And it also is saving our founders and members years of time. So what I want to offer you guys today is also for the people, the next 2 members we sign up, they also get the bonuses that they can bring additional team members for free. And they're also guaranteed to have one-to-ones with myself, Sarah Simmons. Not one of my team. Their one-to-ones will be with me personally so that I am helping them every step of the way to implement their own billion-dollar buyer formula to scale as a category of 1 business. So what our members say is that the results that they get, not only on the call with us, right? I think we might have 1 spot left for a call with me. The results and breakthroughs they get in that call and in implementing our system, they get more results in 30 days than they've had in the previous 3 years. And that is on Trustpilot. It is right there. That's what our members are saying. So you can take this information, you can implement it on your own, right? You can make that decision. Or if you're ready to scale, this isn't for everyone. If you're ready to scale and ready to enable yourself to be supported with amazing transformational peers in the network and mentorship, underpinning your business with clarity, systems, and just get on with it. If you're ready to get on with scaling and you don't want to waste any more time, then I invite you to take that opportunity. And this starts with your category of one growth assessment. Taking that opportunity to really build the unique power of your business, stepping away from any competitor, and being able to build your legacy. So we have a couple of minutes left. If anybody wants to ask a question, now is the time to do that. We've had some brilliant feedback from you guys here, and sharing and seeing so many of you purpose-led founders here with us today. It's really fantastic, as we are a very unique community here just for purpose-led founders to really implement the systems to build sustainable scale. So thank you for Jennifer for saying, all your amazing feedback. Thank you, Sabranti, for joining. Thank you, Josh, for joining. Thank you for everybody joining on LinkedIn. And take that step, because I believe in one thing. You're brilliant alone, but together we transform our world. So thank you for being here. I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Take care. Over and out.